Gym selfies. Oh my God. Sorry, it's just, that's the worst genre of photography. I wish gym selfies could be removed from the world, like TikTok dances or something. Right, I've just had a thought while I've been out, and I wanted to make this video before I got home because I don't know if I'm going to get time to do any filming or editing when I get home, and I wanted to put this message out there right now. It's the 31st of December today, and therefore it's the new year tomorrow. I was out on my bike this morning, and it came to me about doing two hobbies at once, you know, cycling and photography. So if you're struggling to find motivation for your photography, maybe there's another hobby that you do, and that's where you can draw some motivation from. So, you know, for me, one of the things that I like to do is I go out on my bike and I take some photos quite often of my bike leaning against a tree or a rock or a gate or whatever it might be, but equally so trying to create something a little bit more interesting than just a photo of a bike, you know, a bike in a place telling a story, if you like. So if you're struggling for some kind of motivation, maybe think about what other hobbies you've got, or what other hobbies someone in your family has got. You know, I mean, if you're into horse riding, go and take some photos of horses. If you're rock climbing, take photos of mountains and rocks and climbing walls. If you're, you know, if you do arts and crafts, you know, take some photos of your stuff that you're putting up on your Etsy shop, whatever it might be. There must be something else in your life that you can draw from as a bit of inspiration to get you to want to take more photos. I'm looking at all sorts of ways that I can get more photos taken, that I can take more photos in the new year, and I'm looking at lots of different things that I want to do. It's that old cliche, I want to get fitter, so I'm going to get out more, I'm going to get more exercise. My bike will be coming out more, so there'll be more photos of hills and trees and rusty gate posts and whatever I might come across on my travels. But I intend to be doing a lot more photography and taking cameras with me wherever I go. And complete left turn here, one of the other things that kind of made me think about this morning was I didn't have, I'm filming on my GoPro here. I often have my GoPro with me in the car. I quite often take it with me and I use it for vlogging and travel videos and whatnot. Many of those never ever see the light of day, but I take it with me pretty much most of the time, and quite often it's slipped in my pocket for when I go out and take some photos on my bike, because I use it, take videos and whatever. Anyway, from one of my other channels. But anyway, I didn't today. I took my little Canon SD1000 with me, and unfortunately I took about 5 photos and I realised that I hadn't charged the battery, and so that died on me quite quickly. But that was what made me think this morning about this video. Was I was out on my bike, but I was stopping, I took a few photos, and I'm going to share those with you on the screen now. I don't think there's anything particularly special. I did come across a knackered old Jaguar, which I may go back and take some other photos of if I can. But yeah, it just made me think that, you know, if you're looking for some inspiration, why don't you try and, you know, blend some hobbies together, you know? And it might be that you haven't got another hobby, and photography is the hobby that you're trying to get into, or you're trying to do more of, you're trying to get inspired to do more of. And, you know, the temptation obviously is to buy cameras, buy gear and all that kind of stuff, but I'm sure whatever camera you've got, you can make the most of. But you just need to find something to your muse, I suppose. Is that the right word? Your muse, you know, some sort of inspiration. And it might be that your family, you know, your wife, your husband, your son, your daughter, your father has got a hobby, and maybe you take photos of that hobby. Perhaps they collect coins, or they build Lego models or something. You know, use those as different types of inspiration for getting your camera out, and you'll find, you know, new things to you'll learn new skills. You know, perhaps you prefer to be out doing landscape photography, but, you know, maybe take some photos of Lego models, and you might find a love of doing something a little different. I don't know, but all I can say is, for the new year, just find something that you can join together with your photography, and that will inspire you. For me, as I've said, cycling. So I go out on a mountain bike. I have a few bikes, so I'm going to try to get out a little bit more. I travel a little bit with work, so I quite often find myself in different towns and cities around, so that's why I've kind of grown this interest in street photography. But, you know, if you're into history, you know, if you're going to castles and museums and wherever, take a camera. Everything is a photo opportunity all the time. So, yeah, the only thing that I would say, this is a real bugbear of mine, is if you're into the gym, please don't take gym photos. There's something that I hate about gym, and maybe gym photos are okay. Sorry, I shouldn't say this. Gym selfies. Oh my God. Sorry, it's just, that's the worst genre of photography. I wish gym selfies could be removed from the world, like TikTok dances or something like that. So, anyway, find something to inspire you. One final word. One of the things that I'm going to be doing to inspire me is I've bought a film camera, which is a Kodak Ektar H35. It's a half frame 35mm film. So normally when you have one of these disposable type cameras, or this is a reusable one, you get 36 exposures from your film. But what this does is when you press the button and you expose a shot, it only exposes half the traditional frame, and when you wind it on, it only winds it along halfway. So for every one you know, like guess landscape photo that you would normally take from one of these, you actually get 2 vertical ones. So that's interesting and frustrating, because I like to do stuff a little bit quickly. I'm a little bit impatient with a lot of things, and taking one photo from this, the first, you know, imagine you bought a new camera, the first photo you take, you want to have a look at it. How did that work? What did it look like? Have I got the right film in there? Have I got the right settings or whatever? I mean, not that there's any settings on here, but I have to wait until I've taken another 71 photos before I can see and send them off and get them developed before I can see what these photos look like. So whatever you're doing tonight, if you are indeed watching this on New Year's Eve, have a good evening, and I will see you lots more in 2025.